Hello everyone, it's Alina. Welcome to my Soap General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nick has his son now, but was this the proper GH call? The General Hospital recap for Thursday, January 16, 2024, finds Nicola's coaxing Spencer into a questionable scheme to protect Ace from Esma. Also in this episode, Adam's life was spared, but barely, while Joss tried all she could to campaign for him. Trina dropped the Paris bomb on Esma. Finn got a little of encouraging news about his case, and Cyrus was delighted to let Sunny off the hook now that he had a good deal in place. Now let's go a little deeper into the details. Nicholas spoke all the things he could say to convince Spencer to run away with him, but it was a hard no. Spencer had a life here and he had Trina. He wasn't about to abandon her. Instead, he wanted Nick to stay, clear his record, and fight for Ace now that Esme was going to jail. That plan fell bust when Laura contacted with an update. Esme was not going to jail at all. This led to a talk between the men regarding whether or not Esme remembered. Spencer did found it unusual she called him Spence. Nick, of course, used that to bribe Spencer into allowing him at least take the baby. It was too dangerous to let old Esme raise him. Spencer eventually agreed. Nick packed a bag while Spencer said goodbye to his brother. He then handed the infant to his father, warning his dad that he best raise this kid right, or else, and watched them walk out the door. Meanwhile, Esme and Trina were at the courthouse having it out. Esme was sure Trina was disappointed she just got a slap on the wrist, an accusation Trina laughed off. No, she thought it was fair, for this crime at least. Besides, what does she care? She's heading for Paris shortly anyway. Esme was happy to learn Trina was leaving the country. That is, until she found out Spencer was going with her. What about her? What about Ace? Trina assured her Spencer was still big on caring for his brother, but he didn't care about Esme or her feelings at all. Esme all but cried and hurried home to talk to Spence. It's a bad she wasted all that time with Trina though. By the time she got there, Nick and Ace were gone. Over at the hospital, Dex was suited up in scrubs and made his way to Cyrus's room to do the deed. And he almost did, till Sunny knocked on the window and said no. Talk about an 11th hour save. Sunny then went into the room where he and Cyrus had a small chat. Cyrus was glad to inform him he was off the hook. No charges would be laid, or at the very least he was not going to testify. The cost? Well, that was a contract he worked up with someone else. Sunny was floored. He was even more stunned when he later found that the dealmaker was Nina. Good news, right? Wrong. The only good news was she was still at the hospital so he could tell Rolf, which he did. He urged her to stay out of his business and stay away from him for good. Later, he informed Dex they weren't done with Cyrus. They are going to make him wish Dex killed him. Also later, Nina walked in to see Cyrus and told him if the charges were dismissed, he could go ahead and share the good word. Also at the hospital was Joss. She'd hurried in to get an update on Adam and waited outside his room watching Finn and Liz struggle to save his life. Thankfully, Adam was spared. Joss got the joyful news shortly after Carly raced to be by her side. However, things went a bit sideways when Finn recommended calling Adam's parents. Joss balked. They were the reason Adam did this in the first place. Unfortunately, as next of kin, they had to call regardless. Joss grabbed Adam's guitar and proceeded to his room. She took his hand and offered to stay till he woke up. Soon after, Trina arrived to provide a shoulder for Joss. Later, wonderful news came Finn's way. Liz informed him the person who treated Muldoon was in Port Charles and was eager to speak to him. Sunny was floored. He was even more floored when he later found out the dealmaker was Nina. Good news, right? Wrong. The only good news was she was still at the hospital so he could tell her off. Which he did. He told her to stay out of his business and stay away from him for good. Over the years, General Hospital's Nicholas has been many things, and while many longtime watchers will always think of him as the lovely young prince who long ago captivated our hearts, he's more lately become, well, let's just go with the word complicated, shall we? Thanks to more than a few problematic decisions, especially with regards to son Spencer, we've seen far more of his Cassadine side than that of his devoted mom Laura. But this week he went a long way toward earning our love and forgiveness as he reunited with Spencer, and managed to convince him that the only way to keep Ace, the child they both love, safe was to take the baby and travel for parts unknown. Even as he cradled Ace close to his heart and walked out of Spencer's life yet again, we couldn't help but wish he could stay. Until that is, we remembered all the reasons that the character inevitably will return. "You do have to face the consequences of your actions at some point, right?" remarked a dubious Spencer, unsure that his dad's plan was the proper way. "You have a family, and one of your kids is just a baby, so at some point, it does need to stop being all about you." This time, Nicholas claimed he was doing what he honestly believed was in the best interest of not only Ace, but Spencer as well. "I know it looks like I'm running away again," Nicholas said, "but I swear, this time it's different. I'm not running away to escape punishment. I'm running to protect my son. Let me be a father to Ace, and to you. Let me do the right thing for our family. Let me save my son." It had to have been hard for Spencer to learn just how far his father was willing to go to save Ace, especially given the abandonment issues he himself had suffered for years at the hands of Nicholas. The anguish may, however, have been mitigated when Nicholas, a catch in his voice, asked Spencer to leave Port Charles with them. But the younger man had other things to consider, most crucially, the life he was establishing with genuine love Trina. "If you hurt Ace," threatened Spencer, "I will find you, and I will make you pay." Knowing precisely how serious his eldest son was, Nicholas stared him in the eye. "I promise you one day we will both be back," and we believed him. Not, however, merely due of the superbly acted and written scenes, but it makes no sense for Nicholas to remain off the canvas, when there's so much more drama to unravel with him in Port Charles. Sure, Nick and Ava told one another that their romance was ended, but the longing looks they shared made it plain that their love was no more dead than either of them had been at various points in the past. And does anyone really think there's not an epic Esme/Nicholas clash of epic proportions yet to come? Surely she's not going to sit back and say, "Nah, I'm good, take the kid. I'm bored with diapers anyway," especially now that we know. And Spencer suspects, the real Esme is back. She'll undoubtedly move heaven and earth to find down Nicholas and have her son restored. So yeah, we're guessing that Nicholas' current exit is a brief one, possibly designed to let all the simmering plot lines come to a boil before he meets his promise to return. It had to have been hard for Spencer to hear just how far his father was willing to go to save Ace, especially given the abandonment issues he himself had suffered for years at the hands of Nicholas. The pain may, however, have been lessened when Nicholas, a catch in his voice, implored Spencer to leave Port Charles with them. But the younger man had other things to consider, most importantly, the life he was forming with true love Trina. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.